We're here at the beautiful Michigan Central, and Ford has contributed a lot of money to rebuilding this thing.
Yes.
I see numbers upwards of $1 billion. Why?
I think because, obviously it's a family company, Bill's vision, but also for the train station is very much a symbol, a kind of a mark along our journey to create a great company. And we avoided bankruptcy, which was amazing in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, but to build a vibrant company, in the EV world, the digital vehicle world, the train station felt like the right kind of challenger project for Ford to be part of, so that we could be part of the, revitalization of Detroit, which had really been kind of used by almost the national media as a, example of the decay of the country. And this felt like the kind of project that would be emblematic of our recovery as a company.
As we look at this sort of glorious building as it now is renovated, we're reminded of a time in Detroit history when it was a very proud city.
Yes.
A lot to be proud of.
Yes.
Describe how Michigan Central represents that pride in Detroit.
I think if you go back to the origins, the architect was the same, I think, as Grand Central Station. Detroit was really the most prosperous city in the country. It had very progressive leadership. There was a lot of wealth here because of the auto industry. A lot of people came from all over the country, like your family, like my family, for a better future. And I think now we're in a different era where Detroit is growing after decades, after almost since the 60s it's been shrinking. Now it's growing again. And this is going to be an innovation hub with software engineers and our Ford Pro business and many non-Ford people in the building. I think it's a good example of what can be done after a lot of hard work.
When you go back and look at the time that this building was built and when it was really thriving,
yes.
Ford Motor was at an apex as well.
Yes.
I mean, your grandfather worked at the Rouge plant, for goodness sakes.
Yes.
Take us through what Ford Motor was back in the 20s and the 30s.
It was like working at Apple. You couldn't find a better job than Ford. The $5 wage had transformed the middle class. My grandfather's a good example. He was an educated man, but he had a great job at Ford and built his family. His kids went to college eventually, and just like your family, there are millions of people around our country, around the world that have been affected by Ford. And at that time, Ford was the pinnacle.